Namaste. Greetings on the occasion of the 67th Republic Day. After 67 years since our constitution has come into place, if we ask ourselves, are we really having our fundamental right of a safe and secure life? Perhaps a lot of people will have questions in their minds. We are looking at groundwater depletion. We are looking at polluted food coming into our plates. We are looking at a whole lot of difficulties in our life. And we are the causes for the difficulties that we are creating for our life, the insecurity that we are creating to life. I was certainly disturbed with the fact that groundwater levels are falling down very rapidly. In a city, if groundwater levels are falling down because there are buildings and roads and pavements and recharge cannot happen, I can understand. One can understand. But in an agricultural field, where every drop of water can percolate into the aquifer, why is groundwater depleting there, in the villages, in the agricultural fields? Today, we are looking at groundwater levels being as low, as deep as 950 feet, 750 feet, 1,200 feet. There are some which have even breached the 2,000 feet mark. What is happening? On one hand, on the ground of social justice, farmers are being given free power. I am not against that. But on the other hand, if free power and borehole technology has helped the farmers access water and irrigate, then what I would expect and you would expect is that the farmer is irrigating his fields, so he is able to get better yield. So that means his income should have increased. That means agricultural contribution to the GDP should have improved. The rural wealth creation should be evident. But reality, the farmer is as poor, if not poorer. His contribution to the GDP has not changed, if not worsened. Rural wealth creation is nowhere to be seen. The reverse is actually there, is evident. We are looking at what was a healthy 80% rural population, 20% urban population. Today we are looking at 60% rural and 40% urban. Does the urban areas have the wherewithals, the infrastructure to support so much of teeming population? Look at it. If we continue as business as usual scenario, very soon we will be having 60% of the population in the urban areas and 40% in the rural areas. That's going to be chaos. That's going to be certainly a chaotic situation. We should not look at this. I would like to quote two quotations. The first quote is, 25 years ago when I started my career, I came across that. Unfortunately, I do not know the source of the quotation, but the quotation is very much valid today, and that is, change is inevitable. Before this change can overtake and overwhelm us, we should be the instruments of change. The change that we are looking at is rapidly falling depletion, groundwater, rapidly depleting groundwater. The second thing, fortunately now, is Make in India. Friends, I am very happy to inform you that as a solution to the groundwater depletion and as an answer to Make in India, I made this. This is edible cutlery. Yes, edible. You can eat up your spoon too. I'm going to eat up a spoon. You can eat up your spoon. These are made with flowers. Now, how do I address the groundwater depletion? For that, it is necessary for us to understand the causes for the groundwater depletion. On one hand, every time a farmer accesses groundwater, the crop choices are shifting to water-based or water-intensive cultivation. I see a whole lot of area getting added, getting brought under rice cultivation, paddy. Everybody is cultivating paddy and paddy and paddy. Why are you producing so much of rice? Especially in the fact of matter, in the fact of life that millions of tons of rice is rotting in the warehouse. Why are you producing so much? If that much of stock is rotting in the warehouse, it means we would not have been worse off if that much of stock of rice is not produced. To give you an idea, what is the economic cost of that? To produce 1 kilo of rice, it takes 5,000 liters or 5 cubic meters. To produce 1 million tons which is rotted in the warehouse, the water that has been lifted and applied wastefully is 5 cubic kilometers. 5 kilometers wide, 5 kilometers long, 5 kilometers deep. Naturally, you cannot go 5 kilometers deep, right? So, maximum, the average groundwater depths are something like 750 feet, which is 250 meters. So, if it is just, you can go only up to 250 meters or 0.25 kilometers, it means the surface area gets extended. You have 20 square kilometers for every million tons of rice rotted. We have depleted water in 20 square kilometers of area. This is causing farmers' migration. There is no water. Farmers have got no option but to get out of farming business. Compared to census 2001, census 2011 shows only one segment of the population has registered a negative growth, and that is the cultivators. Within this one decade, as many as 9 million farmers have given up their farming as a profession, which means 90 lakh farmers have moved out of farming. Approximately 1 crore farmers are no more in farming. Under business as usual scenario, what will happen in the next decade, 2011 to 2021? We can very well extrapolate the growth rates. It is any demographer can come up with the numbers. I am not here to talk about the numbers. We are on one hand lifting groundwater, producing rice that is rotting in the warehouse. On the other hand, we are creating a migration of farmers away from a respectable farming profession into an agricultural or non-agricultural laborer. Is this justified? Giving free power under this so-called social justice, is it social and is it justified? Now, my career was, I started my career as a researcher. For 18 years I was working as a researcher, and it has always been my concern that groundwater depletion can be arrested. Something has to be done. I developed one groundwater estimation model where you can simulate the groundwater levels under different scenarios. In that, once when I got my model correct, I started playing with the figures and I saw that if I reduce the area under rice by 20%, what is the depleting trend starts increasing? So, if 20% of area under rice is not to be cultivated, then what should farmers cultivate then? Farmers should. So, they need another crop. That's where I found that millets is a good option. Millets consume something like 60 times less water than rice. Let me put it this way. Every acre of millet that has been replaced with rice, the water extraction has gone up 60 times. Conversely, 1 acre of rice, if it is not cultivated, the water saved can support 60 acres of millets. Among the millets, I started working on Jowar, which is called Sorghum. And I made these spoons with Jowar, of course a little bit of rice and wheat added. These do not turn soggy even because these are made with flour, so one can expect that these may turn soggy, but no, it won't. You can actually have water or tea or soup, they don't turn soggy. I'll put a full spoon to show you that even after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, nothing happens to it, even in hot soups. The beauty about this product is it doesn't contain any preservatives, any plasticizers, any chemicals, nothing. It is just plain flours kneaded with plain water. And there is a taste added. So there are two types of taste, savory and sweet. The savory one has cummin seeds, jeera, carrom seeds, ajwain, salt and black pepper, and the sweet ones has sugar in it. So you can have your food and eat up your spoon. We have made a lot of other products also. I tried to make a fork. I could not make a fork, but I could make a spork. You can have your salads, you can have your spaghetti, you can have your noodles, you can have anything with this, and it is as sharp, and it is quite sharp. We have the soup spoons, the Asian soup spoons, which can consume all. It is as good as any other soup spoon. And after you're done with the soup, you can eat up your spoon. We have these ice cream spoons. You have your ice cream and eat up your ice cream. Eat up the spoon also. We here, we've even been able to add vanilla, strawberry, every flavors, all flavors, except chocolate. We were not successful with chocolate. And these are chopsticks. Chopsticks is a huge market. Japan is the largest consumer of disposable chopsticks. And we're looking at export market as well. And we're trying to create huge market potential. And why did I make cutlery? My intention is to create a market for millet. Among the millets, I have selected Jowar. And I'm trying to create internationally appreciated, internationally recognized product. So there is respect for the cereal. Sorghum, Jowar is considered as a poor man's cereal. Hence, many communities which are traditionally Jowar eating communities have moved away to rice. Look at it. I've asked this question several times to a lot of people. If you were to raise a 60-year-old man fed on rice as a staple against a 75-year-old man fed on Jowar as a staple, who wins? I have seen almost everyone, not almost, everyone who I have asked this question say the 75-year-old man is going to win. In your own mind's eye, you are not able to see a 75-year-old man fed on Jowar as an old man, but a 60-year-old man fed on rice as an old man. Why are we eating so much of rice then? Why are we producing so much of rice then? Why are we ruining our resources with cultivation of rice? There is over-application of fertilizers which is leaching into the groundwater and polluting the groundwater. When I was young, about 10-15 years of age, I was brought up in Calcutta, and we used to come back to Andhra Pradesh, my native village, during the vacations. And we just filter water in a well, in a plain cloth, and drink that water. Today, the water is salty because so much of urea, so much of DAP, so much of sulfates, everything has leached into the groundwater and it's polluted. So, if we can reduce the area under rice and in its place promote sorghum, we will be producing a huge impact in terms of water conservation. The huge impact of water conservation leads to a huge impact in power conservation. For the million tons of rice that rots in the warehouse, so many millions of gigawatt hours of power is being wasted. That could be conserved. Now why again? Why cutlery? On one hand, yes, indeed, I was trying to get an international appeal. But on the other hand, I wanted to hit two birds with one stone. Plastic, these days, plastic has become all-pervading in our life. Right from the day we wake up, right from the time we wake up in the morning, with a plastic toothbrush in our mouth, to the time we go back to the bed, switching off the light, which is held in a plastic holder. We are living in plastic world. Plastic, 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 everywhere plastic. When I ask a lot of people why is plastic, every one of us don't like plastic. So when I ask a lot of people why is plastic bad, the one answer that comes is it is not biodegradable. I differ. If it is not biodegradable, actually it is good. It's got a very long life. It is bad because there is abuse and misuse of plastic. That is bad. The abuse of plastic is the plastic bags lying on the roads, the plastic bottles lying on the roads, littering, the garbage. Okay, it is an eyesore, and it is what is the problem, not plastic. It is our abuse of plastic. The other one I talk is the misuse of plastic. Plastic should not at all get into our food. Plastic is a petroleum derivative. It contains a whole lot of chemical complexes such as phthalates and chelates and bisphenols. These are neurotoxic. They impact the brain, they impact the nervous system, they are carcinogenic, they can cause cancer and generally are toxic and poisonous. You all must have heard of what is called food grade plastic. Before I say that, these chemical complexes leach into food. That is why application of plastic in food consumption is bad. Even so-called food grade plastic is that where the leaching is 60 parts per million. If it is less than 60 parts per million under Indian conditions or less than 45 parts per million in US and Western conditions, it is treated as food grade plastic. Look at it. When you know it is toxic, when you know it can impact your nervous system, when you know it can cause cancer, why should you allow even 1 part per million? It is happening because plastic is extremely cheap. There is no alternative. Is it? There is an alternative, and I've come up with that. An efficient or an effective alternative. I define an effective alternative as one which is usable, which is available, and which is affordable. As insofar as you have seen, these are certainly usable. They can serve the purpose for which they are meant for. Coming to the availability, I'm now getting on to the next level and making it as available, as easily available as is possible. And you can just log on to our website, Bakeys, www.bakeys. The apostrophe is not there. Bakeys.com, Bakeys.com. No apostrophes. You can log on to our website. As of now, we're still working on the on our website to bring in the payment gateway. But there is a provision. Comment on the website. You can directly write there where you are located, how much you want, and then what is your email ID. We will get in touch with you, giving you the bank details. So you transfer the amount. So the cost of the product will be affordable, and you'll have to pay the product, cost of transportation, and the taxes. It's going to be cheaper than your bioplastic, than your food grade plastic, and your coated plastic. And then, if you people help me by making this information viral, sharing it with as many friends as you can, and more number of people come in, that's when the volumes go up. That's when I will go start working with the NGOs and the farmers directly and convince them to move away from rice, conserve on groundwater, conserve on power, and buy their raw material and produce and sell it cheaper to you. We are not here to make profits. After 18 years of working and 7 years of research, I am not certainly looking at profits, I am looking at impact. End of the day, I do not want my daughter to suffer water insecurity and food insecurity. I am sure you also would not want to face water insecurity and food insecurity as much as you do not want your children to face or suffer such potential situations. So that's where we all can come together, make in India. I cannot do it alone. I cannot do it alone. I need as many people. As they say, Rome is not built in a day. I say Rome is not built by one man or one person. It needs every one of us to join hands. Let's make it. Make in India is indeed a great, inspiring slogan or inspiring phrase, but we can really make in India and really show the world that yes, indeed, we can come up with innovative solutions. Very simple and innovative out-of-the-box solutions to really serious and complex problems. This is one. So join me and let us make this world a better place to live. So I would, the spoons come in packs of 25 and there will be a label. We have the Food Safety and Standards Act, Standards Authority license. And then we have those two pastes. They come packed like this. And it has got the food license mentioned here, and the instructions, the nutri-facts, and the ingredients, and a little write-up about that. You'll get all the write-up about our initiative in our website, Bakeys.com. And this is, it's got a taste, it is sweet. So the taste is mentioned here, and we are in support of Swaccha Bharat. So the slogan is there, and this one is that which has got this carrom and cummin and black pepper, ajwain, jeera, kali mirch, and salt. And the salt that we apply here is rock salt. So it is actually very good even for people having problems of heart. I'd like to tell you a little more about Jowar. Somehow I am a fan of Jowar. We are all eating too much of rice, and that is causing obesity and also is causing diabetes. But if you look at Jowar, the cliche is cradle to grave. I say Jowar is good from womb to tomb. A womb, when we are conceived in the womb of a mother, a pregnant woman is given calcium tablets, iron tonic, and multivitamins. Jowar has got rich calcium, iron, and multivitamins. Why do you need chemical synthetic medicines. Next is lactating mother. Dairy farmers in Haryana cultivate Jowar not for grains, but they take something like 15 to 17 cuttings during its season and feed it to their cattle. And the dairy farmers of Haryana are certainly the most progressive amongst all the dairy farmers. They are quite progressive. Per capita income there is much better. Next is your teething child. For some reasons, Johnson & Johnson or whatever, maybe the brands, we are looking at plastic teethers and we are polluting our child right from the child's young age, 4 to 5 months onwards. Instead, if you can make a Jowar stuff, and the child keeps nibbling into it, you make a Jowar roti or something and then give it, and the child bites into it, and in the process he is sucking in the nourishment. Then is your adolescent. Teenagers are supposedly quite difficult to manage. That's because there is some hormonal changes that happen and hence they are irritable. Here, the vitamins present in Jowar actually reduces the stress levels. And then comes your adult. These days, diabetes, which used to happen during my period, 50 plus, 55 onwards, has now come closer, and 30 plus people are having diabetes. Jowar has got complex carbohydrates. The glucose particles are released slowly. So the release of glucose matches with the insulin and it gets digested. That's why when you eat Jowar, a lot of people say that you are not able to digest Jowar. Actually, it is getting digested. It's getting digested slowly. So your appetite also, you don't start feeling hungry very often as opposed to eating any rice-based food. In case of rice, we get it completely polished. Everything is removed, bald. We shave off every good nourishment that is available on the grain, and white is what we want. And it is nothing but starch. So the glucose levels shoot up. The insulin is here. The insulin levels do not match with the glucose release. So the balance that is left gets into the bloodstream, causes diabetes and settles down as adipose tissue and causes obesity. Here, it has got niacin and folic acid, and cholesterol gets easily dissolved and removed because of that. As you advance further in your age, the geriatric problems of osteoporosis, arthritis, they cannot happen because you're feeding yourself with a very good continuous dose of calcium and iron. Your bones are sturdy. So, the 74-year-old man, 75-year-old man, you'll be as sturdy as that. So, you could really see that by looking at Jowar, you are helping yourself, you are helping the nation, you are helping the environment, and you are helping the next generation as well. Hence, I say, let's all join hands and make this, and make in India, this particular product also, a great success. Let us show that yes, we have the capacity to undo the wrongs that we have done. Thank you. Jai Hind.